Thank you for joining me right here on the Silence Music Gaming channel. I'm Troy West and thank you so much for watching. As we are on YouTube via the PlayStation Network. This is the Silence Music Video Blog. It's episode 61, a special episode. As today's date is October 2nd, 2018. This is a Major League Baseball playoff preview. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. I did mention that my work week was a little bit hectic, but something came through, and now that it's not, but I still want to do this video just in case my schedule gets a little hectic again. So this will be up for you guys in the AM as the playoffs start tomorrow with the National League wildcard game. So we're gonna get into all the matchups and who I think will make the World Series coming up. I just want to thank everybody as always for the support on the channel as well. Of course, so if you're not a baseball fan, it's not the video for you. It's the baseball playoffs when the baseball season really turns up the heat. In my opinion, my favorite time of year for baseball is the playoffs. Much more intense, much more entertaining games. But of course we're gonna start. I'm not gonna say of course, but I didn't mean to say of course. But we're gonna start in the American League. I'll break down who I think will come out that league. And the National League as well, because the National League had two division tiebreakers, which happened for the first time in history, at least in the last 100 years, I guess. A tiebreaker to win who will win the division in the National League Central and the West. And if you already know who represents the Dodgers won the West, and the Brewers won the Central. And the Brewers came back to win the Central, really. Well, so did the Dodgers as well. As they started off slow, but they wound up being the West Division champions once again. So the National League setup here is the Colorado Rockies will have to go to Chicago tomorrow to face the Cubs in a one-game playoff for the wild card spot. And the winner of that game will play the Brewers, as they got the number 1 seed, and the Braves and the Dodgers will make it, and the other National League Division Series as well. American League been set up for a while. Oakland and Yankees play Wednesday in a wild card game. Cleveland will meet Houston in the ALDS, and Boston will wait that New York and Oakland winner. So that's where all the matchups comes from now. Everything is official. But I want to start the American League because the matchups has been already known for a while. It's a wild card game Wednesday between Oakland and New York Yankees. I think the Yankees will win. They're at home. I just think the A's, it'd be a little bit too much for them. I think the Yankees will rise up and win this game somehow and move on to the ALDS to face they rival the Boston Red Sox. Yankees have the talent definitely in hitting, but pitching's a little suspect. They got a good bullpen, so the pitcher can just hold up for 4 or 5 innings. Yankees will be formidable in the playoffs. But we'll see. But this is one game, so Oakland can make the upset. But I got the Yankees winning that game, so that means they will play the Red Sox. So I'll talk about that series in a second, but I will talk about the series that's already set up. The Cleveland Indians against the Houston Astros. Astros get home field as they won 100 games. Cleveland won, I think, 90 games exactly, if I'm shooting off the top of my head. But Cleveland very formidable with the pitching on the front and back end. Probably in the National League, probably the deepest. American League, probably the deepest pitching staff if you count starters and bullpen. But I picked Houston in the beginning of the year to win the American League pennant, period. So I'm going to go with Houston at 5 games to beat the Cleveland Indians. Indians, I believe more in them as the season went on. First, like I said, I'm not a big believer in curses and all this other stuff that holds Cleveland as a city back, period. But I just feel like as a team, they've been knocking on the door a little bit. It's like how I feel about the Dodgers as well. In the National League side, just thought they've been close. Oh, excuse me. It is at the midnight on the East Coast. I just believe in the Astros. I think they became like a quiet team now since Boston had a monster year and everybody was talking about the Yankees. So I think Houston will pull it out at 5 though, and move on to the ALCS. Of course, the other series as I predicted is the Yankees and the Red Sox. I got the Yankees pull upset at 5. I just think Boston pitching staff still ain't proven. Chris Sale, of course, always pitched for the White Sox, was never really a playoff team, and he's injured going in. David Price still got a lot to prove, so I think that evens out the pitching. I think the Yankees have a better bullpen. I think that'll be the difference in this series. I think they squeak one out, and they move on in 5 games. So that sets up an ALCS between the Yankees and the Astros. And I got the Astros winning that series in 6 games. I think the pitcher is just too deep, especially the starting pitcher for Houston. I think will overcome the Yankees bullpen because they never have a lead late for most of these games. Might be some games Yankees just outslug them and pull away, but I got Houston winning this in 6, so I got Houston representing the American League in the World Series. Let's go over to the National League. Of course, their wildcard game is tomorrow, which is tough because both teams just played that tiebreaker game, Cubs and Colorado Rockies. This is more simple to me. I think the Cubs will win this game. I think Rockies will be a little bit overwhelmed. Just to be honest with you, I never heard anything about Colorado pitching prior to their whole existence. I think Lester starting his experience will be enough, and the Cubs will push through and get to the NLDS against the Milwaukee Brewers, who they just lost to today. I think that'll be a rematch. NLDS, one of the series already set. Atlanta at the LA Dodgers. One of the Dodgers will have home field. This might be a hard choice, I admit this, but I think my Braves, I'm a big Atlanta Braves fan, and y'all been following me, y'all should know I'm already a big Atlanta Braves fan, been a fan for over 20 years now, and I think their youth will be a positive because they don't know what they're into. I think they play loose, but I still think this series will go 5. I think the Braves will win in 5 games. Braves have good starting pitching. I think their bullpen is average, decent. Dodgers bullpen is not good, but they started pitching might be a little bit advantage. But I'm gonna pick the Braves to win this series at 5. I believe in my Braves. They're real young. Hopefully they compete for a while now in the National League East. With I think Washington is declining. Miami still got a lot of work to do. Phillies will probably be the biggest threat, which they was this year. And the Mets still gotta get their lineup together as well. So I think the Braves is clearly the best team in this division. They compete for years, and I think they make a statement and win this series in 5. I've been a big believer in the Dodgers the last couple of years, but just like I said, I feel about the Cleveland Indians. Just had too many opportunities to win and just couldn't. I think this time they'd be stopped in their tracks in the ALDS. I think my Braves will win and move on to the NLCS. And going by my wild card game prediction, it'll be the Cubs and the Brewers. Cubs is the wild card, Brewers is number 1 seed, but I would say upset here. I think the Cubs go in there and make a big statement. I think they beat the Brewers in 4. Just think, I said the Brewers today, I'm impressed with the Brewers. I would be shocked if it's the other way around, or if the Brewers win this series in 5 or any other way. But I just think the Cubs. I just believe in the postseason guys that proven themselves, like Daniel Murphy. For all he came over in the trade for the Nationals. I think he'd be a big factor in the series. And just think veteran pitching as well. Just think Milwaukee a little bit unexperienced. I think it would affect them more than affect my Braves because they got veterans on the team. Well, like Lorenzo Kane, he got experience, but Yelich, from Miami. I don't think he have a lot of experience in postseason. I think he might struggle, even though he's a big MVP candidate in the National League. I think the Cubs are just too experienced. I think they've fallen through. I think they even win it 4 games. So that sets up the National League. Braves, the Cubs, and I think this one my Braves will probably be overwhelmed. I think the Cubs will win it at 6. Just think the Cubs will be too much for my Braves. And they'll move on to the World Series. So our World Series matchup has the Chicago Cubs against the Houston Astros. I have the Astros winning at 6. I think the Astros pitching is deeper, a little bit deeper, and they line up. I think the Astros clearly is still the best team in baseball, even though their record doesn't show it. Boston had a great year. I think they'd be chopped down. I think Houston still the best team in baseball. I think they will carry through, and they will win back-to-back titles. And the first team to do that since the Yankees in the late 90s and early 2000s to win 2 straight, even though they won 3 straight. And I think Houston will finish it off and win it. I had in the National League, I had the Nationals, but they didn't make the playoffs at all. So just think the Cubs is the best in the National League, but I think they will fall short. And I got the Houston Astros winning this World Series in 6 games over the Chicago Cubs. And that is my prediction. Tomorrow is Tuesday, excuse me. So actually I won't be on tomorrow. Well, this count is Tuesday, but I'm on now. But my work schedule is cleared up again, so I'll still do episode 62, which will feature the Thursday night football game between, this week is the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. So that will be Wednesday, or the postal time Wednesday, but I'll probably have to do it so early if my work schedule still works out. So but I want to thank everybody for the support. That's all. Don't have a lot of baseball fans, so I didn't want this video to be too long. World Series champion will be the Astros. They will win 2 straight, as they will complete the job against the Chicago Cubs in the National League. Wild card games the next 2 days. Then the division series will start, I think, will leave Thursday and on through the weekend. So thank you so much for watching. That'll do it for this video. Not long. Just gave my quick baseball preview of the playoffs. All my better video play previews. I'm about to play Mega Man 11 right now. So that'll be a video. Hopefully I have a video set up for that. And I want to thank everybody for the support, and thank you so much. Baseball playoff starts tomorrow, and Astros and Cubs are my prediction. Astros win it in 6. That'll do it. I'm Troy West saying thank you so much. Check out my rest of my projects here on the channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much. Enjoy the baseball playoffs. Enjoy your week as well, and thank you so much.